What's up, fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sense here. If you don't already have your big boy pants on, it's time to slip them on, because today we're talking about one of the most infamous drugstore fragrances or drugstore fragrance brands, and that is Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche and the latest release, Drakkar Bleu, or as the commercial says, Drakkar Bleu. I kind of like Drakkar. It sounds like a guy chasing you with a dagger. But we'll be back in just a second with my first impressions of this relatively new release, that and more right after this. I'm sorry about the fruit flies, guys. If you happen to see them, you think I have like rows of bananas and peaches and things just rotting off the stem with all the fruit flies around here. I don't know where they're coming from. Today we're talking about the relatively new release, pretty exciting release by Guy Laroche, and that is Drakkar Bleu or Drakkar Bleu. I don't know what you've been saying or how you've been saying it all these years, but I've always said Drakkar. I listened to the commercial. He says Drakkar Bleu. Whichever way you choose to say it though, we're mostly interested in how it smells. So in typical fashion, let's take a quick look at really quickly at how it looks, the presentation. The box is your standard cardboard fare. It's got a black semi-matte background. You've got Drakkar Bleu in a blue box with a silver line going through it. The words themselves are silver. It says eau de parfum, so it is an eau de parfum concentration. It is a 100 ml or 3.4 fluid ounces, and of course it's Guy Laroche or Guy Laroche. We're just changing up how we say things. Right side of the box, you've got packaging support information. Left side of the box is nothing. You just got a little band of that teal or blue and then black. Top of the box has no information. Bottom of the box has distribution information. The batch code is embossed on the bottom, so you can't really see that. It's 38Y as in yogurt, D as in Delta, 006. For those of you interested in checkfresh.com. The back of the box has ingredients listing there. I'll show you that. It's just nothing spectacular. You've got address information, your various stickers regarding fragrance, UPC code there with a very tiny QR code, and some additional information. Now you're used to seeing Drakkar in a black bottle. It's been kind of stealth looking, right? Nighttime or stealth looking. And then Intense was released and we got to see through the glass for the first time. And now Drakkar Bleu, and we can still see through the glass into the juice. The juice itself is a blue color. The tagline or blurb is "Feel the power of the ocean." The bottle is a combination of plastic, metal, and glass, right? The lid is plastic. On the very top of the lid, you can see the DK. Unfortunately, the aperture and the atomizer is black, so you kind of have to look for it before you spray, so you're not spraying your finger. But it's all black, and then there's metal, a little bit of metal band here, and the atomizer, pump and atomizer, and of course the glass. The reason that I call it a drugstore fragrance is it was originally released in drugstores, became popularized, and it is a drugstore fragrance because it's still available at most people don't call it drugstore, but they call it a pharmacy. It is a drugstore retro kind of fragrance brand, yet they're kind of moving up into a more modernized look, modernized aroma, and Blue is definitely a modern, aquatic, little bit more mature type fragrance. Now that we know what the fragrance looks like, let's talk a little bit about the aroma. What are the notes that make up the fragrance? Drakkar Bleu opens with a top of apple, bergamot, and spearmint. Featuring a heart of lavender, there's sage, and violet leaf. Resting on a base of fir balsam, moss, and patchouli. All right, so we've got this now kind of a modernized sort of formula that's going on in Blue. It wants to be an aquatic, fresh, oceanic type fragrance. It's billed as an oceanic fragrance, feel the power of the ocean, but it's not a conch shell. You're not gonna put it up to your ear and hear anything. You're not gonna hear waves lapping in this fragrance. It's not really an ocean type fragrance. It's lacking any kind of salty or briny. It does have a citrusy open, but it's more of a fruity citrusy throwback kind of aquatic. So yes, they're staying true to their original drugstore kind of pharmacy Guy Laroche mature man's man brand. They're staying true to that with their mature themed fragrance. It's more of a fresh, minty, clean, aquatic fragrance than it is an oceanic, briny, salty kind of fragrance. This has more to do with a modern Jimmy Choo Man Aqua type fragrance than it does an Aqua de Jo. Aqua de Jo is kind of more of a salty, woodsy, briny, you know, you got your sea salt, you've got your driftwood, and you've got a little bit of citrus brightness, right? That's Aqua de Jo in a nutshell. Jimmy Choo Man Aqua is more of a fresh, citrusy, aquatic fragrance without the ocean. There's no ocean in this, but that's okay. We don't need it in this. We're used to what Drakkar brings to the table, and it still brings that mature themed manly man kind of brawny fragrance with a little bit of a hint of Barbershop. It brings Drakkar into the realm, along with the Intense, into the realm of more of a modernized, newer type fragrance. What's interesting though, the spearmint, the sage, the violet leaf, which is green, the moss, which is green. It brings a lot more green into the formula than you might imagine, as opposed to blue, really. We have blue, B-L-E-U, however you say it in French, and then we have vert, which is green. In the open, that green, crisp freshness that's more green than it is blue kind of morphs into a blue later on into the dry down. So into the final dry down of the fragrance, what you're finally left with is this kind of fresh modern man's aquatic fragrance. Not oceanic, not sea salty, not really even driftwoodsy, but it's more of a kind of the crest of the wave, kind of a more fresh aquatic than it is an oceanic sun-kissed aquatic. It's really invigorating, and what you'll see on the internet is people comparing it to fragrances like Davidoff Cool Water, Versace Eros. If you were to put those two fragrances on kind of a sliding scale, it would fit somewhere in between them. I actually enjoy it more than I thought I would. I actually like it more than I thought I would for a $30 fragrance. And so now we're getting into the cost. Pretty much anything that you're going to get Drakkar, and there's 3 fragrances right now in the lineup. There's the original Drakkar Noir, or Drakkar Noir. There's Drakkar Intense and Drakkar Bleu. I feel like I have to say that with a like a pirate or something. Drakkar. If you don't own it already, why not? It's 30 bucks. You're not gonna break the bank, and it still has one of the best positive vibes, and I'm gonna set this down, about Drakkar Bleu that I can say is the cost. Guys, it's only 30 bucks. Pretty much anywhere. You can get it at makeup.com for $29.92, I think. You can get it at JCPenney's if you want to pay $68 for it. You can still pay $68 for it, but why? When you can get it on Amazon all day long, and I got mine. Mine was fully sealed. It was like 30 bucks on Amazon, and I think they still have plenty of them. So not going to be hard to find, and even after, I think it's been out for a month or so now, you're still going to be able to find it at discounters for under 30 bucks. It's probably going to be right around 25, 30 all day long. And so the price is right where it needs to be for a fragrance of this ilk. The quality of the fragrance, the aroma, the presentation, the look, it fits. Guys anywhere from 16 on up can wear this fragrance. If you're 16 and you're looking for something fresh and new, something that makes a statement about you, a little bit more on the mature side but still has a modern profile, definitely check out Drakkar Bleu. I think you're going to be very impressed with it, and it's definitely going to be one of those fresh out of the shower kind of shower gel like fragrances. Some people think of shower gel as being kind of this generic bland bargain basement genre. It's not. It's actually a positive thing. In terms of longevity, this actually lasts as an eau de parfum. It's going to last a lot longer than your basic shower gel fragrance, and you're paying 30 bucks for an EDP. Now, the original Drakkar Noir was an EDT. They started out with the Intense as an EDP, and they're moving into the arena of Big Boy Blue, and it is an EDP as well. I don't really have a lot more to say about it in terms of cost. It's right where it needs to be in terms of longevity. It has a good 6 to 7 hour base in terms of longevity. The dry down, I really enjoy. I love the open and the mid, but it moves into that whole kind of Drakkar, what we're used to in terms of maturity and freshness, a combination of what's great about retro and what's great about new and modern, and it fuses them very well, really well, in the aquatic sense, just as good as they did the Oriental Spicy. The only difference between this one and this one, this is actually going to last a bit longer, so they've kind of fixed the issue with the longevity in the Drakkar Bleu, at least in my estimation. And yes, I'm trying to kill freaking gnats that are driving me crazy. Don't leave your fruit out. Well guys, that's a wrap on today's first impressions of Guy Laroche Drakkar Bleu, or Drakkar Bleu, however you want to say that. I think it's a great addition to the lineup. There's only 3 fragrances. I'm excited about what they're going to come out with next, but why wait on this one, guys? Pull the trigger. It's only 30 bucks or just under, and it's very well worth it. If you want a fresh aquatic fragrance that you can just throw on and go without having to think about it, this is going to be a great grab and go type fragrance. As I've said before, this is the brand that has social proof. It's tried and true. Everybody loves and respects it. It's the most mentioned fragrance on TV and in movies besides Aquatic. I think they even say Drakkar too, just like I say it on TV. So there you go. What more social proof do you need than that? But I fully give it my endorsement, so you guys check it out. If you have tried it, please let everyone know in the comments what you think about this new fragrance and what your thoughts are about the whole lineup and what you like about it, maybe what you don't like about it. Thanks so much, guys, for sticking around. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you so much for your continued support on my channel as I continue to grow. I hope you and your family have a safe, awesome day out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.